It's a meeting of minds and personalities. Since its founding in 1945, the United Nations has always been center stage for global grandstanding. Who could forget former Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi's 2009 appearance?
Do not forget why you are attending these conferences, who you're doing this for. We are your own children. You are deciding what kind of a world we are growing up in.
So imagine a world parliament. Imagine 193 voices gathering together in New York to deliberate over matters of peace and security. The United Nations has many parts to it. It deals, for instance, with matters of economics and social policy. It deals with matters of human rights. It deals with matters of culture. But the most important parts of the UN are the Security Council, which has 5 permanent members who are responsible for controlling its policy.
The United Nations has to reassess its role, redefine its profile, and reshape its structures. It should truly reflect the diversity of our universe and ensure equity among the nations in the exercise of power within the system of international relations in general and the Security Council in particular.
The other body that is very important is where all the nations meet and come together, and that is the General Assembly. Both the General Assembly and the Security Council pass what are called resolutions to make policy for the world.
The Security Council was set up to be the leader on peace and security, and yet when it fails, the consequences are terrible. Look what has happened in Syria, look what happened in a number of votes in relation to Israel, look what's happened over the years. The Security Council hasn't fulfilled its obligations. It's just not acceptable that the highest security and political organ of the United Nations would block steps that would save so many lives. It's not acceptable. And when the Security Council fails, the United Nations fails.
If a member state decides to use his veto to block a council action, I think it should be incumbent upon that state, that representative, to put an alternative forward.
Fundamentally, the UN represents our attempt, however imperfect, to learn from the horrors of the Second World War and the Holocaust and build an international community that works together. Yes, the UN reflects political realities. And if, at times, we don't like what we see in this mirror, then we, governments, universities, all of us in this room, we need to do more to improve it, to make it more transparent, to make it more accountable, to make it work better for us all. It is so much easier to blame the institution than to put in the hard work we need to make the UN that the world desperately, desperately needs at this time. Or we could just sit back and hope that somehow Mr. Putin and Mr. Trump will get around a table and produce this new institution that will do so much better than what we already have. The choice is yours. Thank you.